In an interview with Submission Radio, Sonnen revealed some important inside information regarding the current scenario between Jon Jones, Tom Aspen, and Alex Pereira. It also showed how close the UFC was to making a significant change to their plans. The UFC was reportedly considering using Pereira as a pawn on the chessboard to help arrange a fight between Jones and Aspen, with Jones holding out, according to Cha. The organization was ready to promote Pereira to heavyweight, possibly pairing him with Aspen as a well-known substitute. According to Sonnen, this strategy was almost in place, and Pereira would have been headed to the heavyweight category, despite suffering a defeat, if Jones hadn't verbally committed to fight Aspen at the last minute. It is now anticipated that Jon Jones will face Tom Aspinall sometime between July and November, while Alex Pereira will face Magomed Ankalaev again in August. According to Jones, he needs 6 months to get ready and fix the damage. Sonnen questioned whether he really meant it, implying that the schedule might still be subject to change.
Now, I just want to tell you what a close call this was, and this barely made it. I mean, this was like 24 hours apart. Alex Pereira was one of the most interesting men we had in our sport because he was going to be used as a pawn on the chessboard to get Aspinall versus Jones together. If Jon Jones kept holding out, that opportunity was just merely going to slide to Alex Pereira. And Pereira versus Aspinall is one hell of a consolation prize if you can't get Jones versus Aspinall. They got a deal done with Jon Jones and Aspinall, at least verbally, the night before. This is inside information. You will not have heard the story anywhere else.
Wow, thank you.
Deal done verbally the night before Pereira versus Ankalaev. And I'm only telling you that because if they had not got that deal done, then Pereira would have, in fact, been a pawn on the board. He would, in fact, right now, even off a loss, be a heavyweight.
The Tilren till he realizes there is no way to Vidrizdriz. Dupi's Khamzat Chimaev. Dupi Ihimai. Dupi's UFC title has already been defended. Lilti belt twice, first against Israel Adesanya, and then defeating Sean Strickland in a tough decision. Speaking to Genting Casino till he is certain, Dupipiho, who has trained with Chime and battled Dupi, doesn't see the South African holding on to his title when confronted by the unbeaten wrecking machine, like Whittaker did to Robert Whittaker, whom he submitted with a Brocktobera crank in October. Komat foresaw that Komat would steamroll DDP until he saw no way for the chins to stop them. Jar grappling, Dangja gripping and pressure. Although it wasn't enjoyable, he, a duplicity, wasn't impressed with Strickland's performance versus Strickland, Kamata to Kamat. He will be ran over by Kahim. I consider that's a whole thought. I gave it that title. Look, he will win the title, in my opinion. I believe Kamatama will eventually achieve it, and if he does, he will leave, make the money, and then, I believe, go there. Then have a calm hunting experience. Mark Hunt has threatened to put Dana White in jail, saying that the UFC's legal issues are becoming worse. Hunt issues a warning on Dan White and the lawsuit he filed against the UFC and 200. Their bout at UFC 200 in 2016. Fraud. According to the lawsuit, the UFC allowed Lesnar to compete, even though they knew he had tested positive for Baphomet. The case also alleges fraud and racketeering. Huntons both prior to and following the battle. Hunt has made no secret of his displeasure with the way the UFC has handled White's infractions, accusations, and repercussions. Consequences in a sneaky interview. He explained in a recent interview that he thinks Dana and he are responsible, and will be held guilty in the end, but they will go to jail. Nevertheless, many fans have expressed doubt over Hunt's remarks, and his lawsuit has encountered obstacles after a judge rejected some of the
civil lawsuit will be the second highest civil lawsuit in history, which will make me the wealthiest athlete ever in history, the wealthiest fighter ever in history. Dana White and all his cohorts, they know the landscape has changed, and the tidal waves, when it hammers them, they have serious problems. You know, his problem right now is finding a way to stay out of jail, which he will be going to jail, and the rest of his cohorts. If I see you doing wrong, I'll tell you. And if I have to try and fix it, like I said to Dana White so many times, bro, cuz, do something about it. These guys are cheating. Oh, you won the fight. I don't get my hand's broken because of that cheating piece of shit. So all these guys that I just explained to you, colluded together for one purpose, are going to jail. And P. Diddy's going to get that baby oil to bum these. That's it.
Adam's Buzz Khamzat Chimaev was questioned about a possible appearance on the Joff during a recent radio appearance. He and Chimaev left the journalists and discovered that Rogan, a no journalist, was the same as me. They all asked the same questions over and over again. And the worst fighters tried politics. A mean quote, E extends an invitation to me. It wouldn't be there, in my opinion. What would I discuss with him there? Me? The podcast makes no sense at all. As for me, I believe I have addressed every query regarding my fighting career thus far. I have spoken what has to be said. I would just be restating what I have already said if I said it. D. All of these journals are identical. They ask the same questions and nothing is different. The same question is being asked by 99% of them. What will I discuss with him outside of sports, outside from sports? These journalists attempt to bring these athletes into politics, and I am an athlete. Sitting there and talking in front of a camera is not something I'm interested in. Ing. Additionally, Khamzat was questioned about a possible match with champion Drius Dupi. Do you think DDP will be your toughest fight to date? The reporter asked. In response, Khamzat said, "We'll see. I can't say that I haven't received any fight offers before we cocked in the cage. My hardest battles to date have been with Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman. Despite having a fever prior to the Usman fight, I managed to fight and prevail." Khamzat quoted Robert Whittaker as saying, "I felt Robert's jaw crack a couple of times when I sunk in the choke," on the subject of his jaw injuries. What am I supposed to say? Do you realize how sorry I am for him? He's a man. After the fight, I tried to locate him and shake his hand, but the doctors had whisked him away. Following his comments, Charles Oliveira recently retaliated against Ilia Toria, describing them as extremely disrespectful. Ola explained that in the lightweight division, Islam Makhachev is the opponent to beat. Oliveira will not give up if Toria wins the next title instead of him. He will continue to train, remain committed, and wait for his opportunity. Although he's frustrated by the possible rejection, he's not disturbed by the circumstance, and is adamant that he's prepared to fight anyone who steps up. Ola doesn't allow the controversy deter him from his objective, since he is adamant and sure he deserves the chance to win the title. This is a straightforward approach from a combat veteran who is ready to take on any challenge. Quotation, the ultimately, Makhachev is the one who needs to be defeated. Thus, it doesn't matter if Ilia is the next to take on him. I'm merely a worker here.